Hey, what's up? This is Valencia with Wellness Honey, and today I'm going to be doing energy reading for the month of November. November is one of my favorite months. It's like so beautiful. It's going to be a very intuitive reading, and I'm going to give some dates and for like the different moon points and the different astrology points. You know, when the sun, what day the sun moves into the next sign, which would be Sagittarius. Right now, currently, we're in Scorpio season. And so, yeah, I think this is going to be fun. I really, really feel this energy is going to be fun. It's going to be informative, enlightening, and fun. And so we're going to start with, I'm going to do for each point. So I'm going to do like a little intuitive reading. I'm going to talk some notes. I'm going to refer to my notes. I did a meditation before I clicked record on this video, and I did a meditation on each on 6 points of November. The first point was November itself. Of course, November starts the 1st. And week 1 for new moon in Scorpio. New moon in Scorpio is on November 4th. Week 2, half moon Aquarius, that is on November the 11th. Week 3, which is full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, that's on November 19th. And also in week 3, the sun moves into Sagittarius, and that is going to be November the 22nd, and the sun is going to be in Sagittarius all the way until December the 21st. And then we're going to have week 4 and the waning half moon in Virgo, and that is going to be on November 27th. And this month, it just feels so good. It just feels like a great month for moving things along, moving ahead, moving closer to what you really want in your manifestations. All right, so let's start with the month of November. So I have my notes over here, so I'm going to be constantly looking at my notes that I wrote down from my meditation. And for the month of November, just quickly, November houses two zodiacs, Scorpio and Sagittarius. It's mostly a Scorpio month. But you know, Sagittarius comes towards the end of the month. And what I was feeling, what I feel about November in general, that November is a month of transformation and expansion. You know, you think of Scorpio as a transforming type of energy, and you think of Sagittarius as an expanding type of energy. So it's like you transform so you can expand. And so what I was feeling and hearing in my meditation was restore fate. Not F-A-I-T-H, but fate, F-A-T-E. Restore fate. And I was hearing the words cashable, actual, factual, capable, and casual. Just these words just kept coming about, and I'm not really sure what that was quite about, but I'm sitting and I'm going to allow Spirit to just reveal to me information about the energy, like what we're going to be experiencing this month in November, and what does it mean to restore fate for November. Let's see, I'm going to just intuitively pull cards. That's another thing I usually do. Hold on a second. We're going to intuitively pull cards. And as I said that, all right, the Temperance cards pops out. I'm just going to take all of these cards, right? So the first card popped out is the Temperance card. With the Temperance cards, I feel like with the waters, with the exchanging of waters, it's like pouring out from a higher cup into a lower cup. It's this I think that it's that feeling of restoring fate, and it feels like being careful to be able to discern between two things, balancing out balancing out balancing out that. I feel like balancing out your emotions, right? It's this one is a lesson in taking the time to discern between which emotions are healthy and healthy for you, and which emotions are not. Because sometimes I think we can't tell. It's what we think might be healthy for us, but it's actually not healthy for us. It's kind of like balancing out those emotions. It's like balancing out it's balancing out when, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with this. The thing that mostly draws me to this card is it's the cups, it's the hands. It's like looking at it's like, to me it's like he's pouring, seems like he's pouring the top cup into the bottom cup. But it's almost kind of weird because it seems like it's the bottom cup pushing water to the top cup. Like that's what really resonates with me. It just, to me it seems like it's the water. I don't know if you can, but to me it seems like it's the bottom cup that's being pushed. Like the water is coming from the bottom cup and it's being poured into the top cup. And I feel like it's taking your lower emotions and giving them to your higher, like taking your lower emotions and transmuting them into a higher emotions. Or maybe it's taking your lower understanding of your emotions and transforming them to a higher higher understanding of your emotions. It's kind of it's like, let me see what these other cards are saying. Next up would be the Nine of Pentacles, and this is always a great card. And Sagittarius is the ninth sign, and it feels like 9 is about completion, 9 is about endings, and it feels like, what did you accumulate at the end? And when it's material, it's kind of like, it's like this lady seems to be very rich. It's like the things she's have done, like the effort she's put in has materialized to be very fruitful. And it feels like, so I guess now I'm feeling, it's like this feeling of November is kind of like discerning, what emotions, should I say, okay, taking your lower emotions and sending them up, and taking time to transform these emotions. It's like it's what was I trying to do there? Because it's like I said that and it was like, but why am I keep harping on that, taking the lower emotions and trying to send them up to your high emotions, when it feels like this card is definitely about discernment, and definitely about taking your time to be able to discern between two things. So maybe it's not so much about lower or higher emotions, but just discerning between the emotions. And temperance is about, to me, when I hear temperance, I automatically, it just sounds like patience. It's being patient, and then automatically patience is a virtue come up. I've been telling my kids this, like, at least I've told my kids this 2 to 3 times this week. It's like patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And I think in order to really understand the emotions, you have to be patient. And so I feel like being patient and allowing certain emotions to play out, and knowing which emotions to kind of play into and which emotions, it's kind of like balancing them out, like, that make any sense. And then, but it feels like with this, by doing that, by taking that time to discern between emotions, there's a situation, you know, where in November, where you're going to be able to be like, it's going to be fruitful. It's going to it's like it's the end of a situation, and because of the time you took at discerning between your emotions, you physically were able to manifest some comfortability into your life. That's what it feels like. So it feels like also we have the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is all, to me, it always feels like it's like not knowing what you want. It's like you have all these different cups, right? And it's like, and this guy is like black, he's like dark, he's like the shadow, right? It's like having all of these desires and all of these wants, but it's almost like not really knowing which one you should take. They all seem tempting, right? You have all these cups. It's like, what do you want? It's like with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like, what do you want, right? It's like, and it's, do you want riches? Do you want self-love? You know, do you want transformation? Do you want romance? Like, what do you really want? And I feel with the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like, you know, it feels like it's asking, what do you really want, past the illusions of what you think it is. You know, a lot of the times we want stuff, and we think it's the thing that's gonna bring us happiness. And I feel like with the Seven of Cups, it's saying, you know, it's like November is like, what you think might bring you happiness probably isn't. It's not gonna be the thing. And it's not going to be the thing that's going to make you happy. You know, it's you that makes you happy. And so it's kind of like, you know, understanding that you can have fruitful, you know, just because, let's say it's the end of a cycle and you've manifested abundance, let's say, or prosperity, and it's like wealth, right? But that doesn't mean that you've solved your problems. You know, it's only really beginning to really decide what it is. It's only bringing in more money, more problems. That's what it is. You know, a lot of times we think that the money, right? We get more money, it solves all our problems. It feels like the more money you have, the more problems you have, if you actually haven't discerned what caused the issue to begin with. It's like this. That's the temperance and the patience and being able to discern between things, is that what you gonna do with the fruitfulness. You know, are you gonna be fooled? Are you gonna fool yourself thinking that this is the thing that's gonna solve all your problems? You know, it's kind of, and then we get the Nine of Swords, and it's like, you know, when we think of swords, it's the mental, our mental self, or the mental energy. Let's go with that. It's like, and so it's kind of like what it's, and this lady is like, it's 9 swords, and this lady is like in the middle of between swords. Let me see, between swords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between swords 5 and 6, right? And then you have 3 swords on this side, 1, 2, 3, 6 swords on the other side. And it feels like, all right, so, you know, November is about discerning between, you know, your emotions and the prosperity that you get, the abundance that you get, not thinking that this is going to solve all your problems. You still got things to deal with in the background. And in order to really be able to discern between what you really want and what you should spend your fruitfulness on, if it's money, because it could be money, it can be I'm just hearing financial right now. So if right now specifically, this feels like financial windfall right now. And it could be, in order for you to really know what to do with this financial windfall, this abundance of money that's just coming to you, this financial breakthrough. That's what it feels like, this financial fruitfulness, that in order to really not get sucked in and spending it on all kind of things that don't matter, spending it based off of your emotions, right? You need to release whatever, it's like releasing these mental blocks on your energy, right? It's the 9. I always see right, like, but it's so in 9, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, a 9th sign, and we have the 9 of Pentacles. This definitely feels like, you know, it's like you're at the end. 9 is the end of a cycle, so it's like you had been at the end of a mental cycle, you know, a cycle that kept you not knowing how to discern between your emotions. It's like right now is the opportunity to be able to see, like, yeah, you know, that it's like releasing these mental blocks that keep you, it's like money come to you, but it just falls through your hands. You can't keep it. You're always spending on the wrong things. You never have enough. And it's kind of like, you know, now is the time to release those mental blocks. They are already releasing, but in particularly now is the time to really pay attention to your thoughts behind money, your thoughts behind your abundance, your thoughts behind your emotional spending. That's what it feels like. And then we get the Moon card. The moon comes out, and it feels like, this is interesting. This is interesting. The Moon card is ruled by Pisces, and it feels like, you know, when I think of Pisces and the moon, I think of the moon as your unconscious. It's unconscious awareness. It's your instincts. It's your instincts. It's usually information that you can't really explain so much. It's usually habits that you have that you don't even realize you have. It's usually, a lot of the time, when you think of unconsciousness, is when we project onto other people, like qualities about them, qualities that we don't have, that we think we don't have but we really have, but we project it on other people. Like maybe it's like you know, your husband, or your wife, you feel like this person is like so smart, right? And then, but it's something that you don't, it could, like, you feel like they're so smart, like you're not smart, like, but they are. But it's like you are smart, you know, but it's kind of just projecting onto them qualities that you don't see in yourself, because maybe you haven't recognized your smartness, your potential. And I guess I brought that up because of this. It's like being smart financially, like maybe you're not thinking that you're not financially savvy, and it's like kind of releasing all of your mindset behind money. And that's the only real way to be able to continue to call fruitfulness into your life is by educating yourself on it when you have it, and by one, self-aware, your understanding your unconscious thoughts and feelings behind it, like really understanding like why are you having, why aren't you able to, like, why are you able to manifest money but you're not able to keep it? You know, why aren't you able to keep the money flowing and going? It's like, what unconscious beliefs do you have about yourself? Maybe you don't feel like truly that you're worthy. Maybe you don't feel like truly that you're worthy to have it. Maybe it's because your parents, growing up, your parents didn't have money, and so you spent a lot of time being not, you know, not being financially stable. Maybe your parents didn't know how to acquire wealth or money, and it's, you're just living in their patterns, and you don't know how to overcome this. You know, maybe, you know, it's so many things. Or it's like, you know, it's like sometimes we get stuck in these thoughts that our parents, you know, that it's like if our parents had like a scantily mind, or a scarcity, I say scantily, but like they had this mind, where this lack mind, where they felt like they always needed money, they always needed stuff, and like that's the days when they got money, they spent it on a whole bunch of things that did not matter. They didn't invest in themselves, they didn't invest in their house, they didn't invest in their savings, they didn't invest in property, they didn't invest in, let's say, I'd say real estate, but let's say the what you call it, the stock market. Let's say they didn't do any of these things. Let's say they just went work their 9 to 5 job, and you saw them do that. They was on their job 15, 20, 30 years, and that's all they got to show for it. They don't have any financial gain from it, you know. And they didn't, it's like they had to live day to day, spending money, and spending money on their survival, y'all survival. And you learned this like subconsciously. It's in your mind, it's in your habits. And so you spend a lot of time fighting those unconscious habits. And I feel like with this, it's saying that it's time to be able to look at these subconscious habits and realize like this is what's keeping you from staying abundant. Like you're getting the money, but what's keeping you from constantly attracting it and constantly being in flow of it, and constant, it's being prosperous, you know, because this person is abundant and she's rich, and you know, she's just have these pentacles. She has the moolah, she has the coins, right? It's that's you have the coins, you have the ability to attract money to you, to make money and to come to you. But it's like the universe is like, what you doing with it? Because the money not gonna solve your problem. That's another thing. If you think the money gonna solve your issues, they not, because the money isn't the real issue. It's your mindset behind the money that's the real issue. And for this November, it feels like it's time to let go of those money worries, let go of those money blocks, let go of these mental thoughts, and this way of how you're going about handling your finances. So that's, I guess I'm trying to figure out what that got to do with restoring faith, right? It's kind of like, because maybe it was always your fate to be wealthy. You know, it's your fate, is to, you're destined, right? Like, you know, if you believe in destiny, maybe it's in your destiny to secure financial wealth and to be wealthy. But it's almost like you can't do it if you have these unconscious blocks that were given to you by your family. I mean, most of our issues come from our family, right? But maybe it didn't come from your family. Maybe it's just your own. Maybe your parents were good with money, and it's just your own lack of knowledge on how to take care of and secure your own money and your own wealth. How to not make emotional decisions around money. So that's what I'm feeling for this November. The energy is restoring your faith, your financial faith, right? That's what I'm feeling. So let's move to the week 1 new moon Scorpio. Right. So let's get the cards. And so for the new moon Scorpio, which is going to be on November the 4th, and it's what I was hearing and feeling was time to go. This time is different. You're different. It's your sun. And then I got it's your joy. These cards just fell out the pack just now. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. These just fell out. So we're going to go with this. All right. So it's like time to go. This time is different. You're different. It's your sign. It's your joy. So these cards, didn't we just have, I just pulled these cards. But what's funny is, how did they get flipped around? This is interesting. All right. So I'm gonna go with, all right, so it's time to go. This time is different. You're different. It's your sun. It's your joy. All right. So I'm feeling with this new moon Scorpio, to give a couple of some information on Scorpio. When I think of Scorpio, we think of, like I said at the beginning of this video, as it's a transforming energy. I feel it's a lot that I equate Scorpio to with is intimacy and manipulation. And I originally wrote down lack of control. So, but then I thought maybe it's lose control, but lack of control is what I got. And so I'm feeling, so this energy feels like it's time to go, right? And I got this card. We got this card right here. It's it's 6 of Cups. And this cup is always like it's very like a past romance, or it's like it's always steeped in the past feeling when it's when you read about it and you learn about it, and even as you experience it in your life, it's like nostalgia. It's like that, being steeped in the past. Like it could be a past a past love, a past memory, a past emotion. Like it could be that you are stuck in the past and stuck in an emotional past, and this new moon Scorpio, and then we talk about intimacy. It's like maybe something was what it was, but it's no longer like that. But instead of you dealing with, so maybe a relationship was what it was in the past, right? It was beautiful, it was loving, this person was giving, this person was kind, they were everything you wanted, everything you needed. But maybe it's you stuck with this fantasy of what it was, but you're not really seeing what it is currently. And it's kind of like you're being stuck, and you don't want to be unstuck, because it's almost like you don't want to go. And it's like you think that if you stay with this person, that things are gonna get better, but it's not. It's just because you're not the same person. You're not the person who who was okay with this this love or this relationship. It's you're different, and it's like this time is different. The time is different. It's like this isn't it feels like this isn't it for you, and you gotta let it go, because you're not this person anymore. So this energy is like letting go of some past love. And sometimes the past love isn't always a relationship. It can be a past love of whatever. Like it can be a past friendship. It could be a past relationship you may have with your parents. It can be a relationship maybe that you have with yourself, especially because it says it's like you're different. So you could be holding on to emotions, like being attached to emotions that aren't resonating with you anymore. But it's something that is a past memory of yourself or someone, and you keep trying to hold on to this emotion, and it's not working, and it's time to let it go. And then we get the Six of Pentacles. All these sixes. All these sixes. It just was two sixes. But the Six of Pentacles, it's like with this, it's this card is always like with charity. Like my stomach just started hurting. Like soon I just started even thinking about this. It's like charity, right? But I think this is more like it's like giving, right? Giving money and knowing who and discerning who to give your money to and who not to give money to, and understanding that sometimes situations don't necessarily need money, or they may actually just need a kind ear, and some things just need to be ignored. They need physically to be ignored. Some people in your life need to be ignored. I'm not saying ghost. I don't know why that came up, but ignored. Like just letting them know that, you know what, it's like we're not on the same page, and this isn't what I want, and moving on. And maybe they don't want to let go. So maybe let's just say you holding on to this past memory, and you decide that you want to let it go, but the other person don't. Sometimes it's time to just ignore it. Ignore the person and focus your time. Don't give them your time. Don't give them your energy. Don't give them anything. Just focus your energy on giving to who needs your time, who needs your energy, who you want to give your energy to. So it's like this. It's kind of like discerning when you should and shouldn't give your time, your energy, your funds, and your money to people and things, because everybody, I just talked about November, and how November has this energy of you constantly getting money, and maybe that's one of your issues with being financially stable, is because you're constantly giving your money away to people who don't matter. And maybe this time, making sure you give your money to people that actually, matter, like discerning, like having that discerning eye. And so again, and so we got the Nine of Wands. It's like the nine, of course, it's the third nine that came up. We had a nine for each of them, right? We had the nine of swords, the Nine of Cups. No, did we have the Nine of Cups? No, we didn't. We had the Nine of Pentacles. So right now we have the Nine of Wands. So for this, new moon in Scorpio, this energy feels like living in, like, having a past memory or past experience, past romance, past relationship, past something. It's something in the past where you're stuck on it emotionally, and it's a call to discern. Are you giving your energy to the right thing? Should you be giving your time and your energy to this past, this past emotion? Are you giving too much physical time and energy to it? And it's like almost like it's like this person is a paranoid. This person always look beat up, paranoid at the end, needing to. It's like paranoid, trying to protect these nines of wands, and the nines represent our spiritual energy. It's kind of like our motivation. It's like this person is just like kind of paranoid, looking after his spirit, looking after these nine swords. And it's like kind of like, it seems like not really knowing who to trust. So it's like maybe that's why it's kind of this energy of constantly relying on this past emotion and this past relationship, is because, you don't know who to trust, and you don't want to have this paranoid energy. It's like this is that one person that's always been there for you all the time. And if you lose them, it's almost kind of like who are you? The Two of Cups. This feels so emotional. Then we get this Two of Cups. It's a relationship. It's an imbalance in a relationship. That's what it really feels like. And it feels like, you know, you know it's an imbalance in the relationship. It's just easier to kind of like stay in it, even though it's making you very, very unhappy. Even though you know you feel like not complete, but it's almost like you banking on this past, you know, this past memory. It's like you banking on who he was, who she was, and it's kind of like just wanting to keep this moment going, even though this moment isn't real no more. It ain't happening, right? But just being stuck in wanting this and hoping that it's gonna go back and be this, and it's kind of like this, and it's like with this, it's just kind of like, well, it's never gonna go back. You kind of gotta accept it. Like it's time to move on, and if you don't move on, it's just gonna keep on being imbalanced. It's just gonna keep on eating away with you. You gonna lose it anyways. This is what it feels like. Like you gonna lose it anyways, but how you gonna lose it is kind of like up to you. And these two cards came back, right? And this is the nine of swords, and this time it's upright. Last time I believe it was reversed. So this time it's like, so this one is having to release these mental blocks. This one, like having the opportunity to release the mental blocks that's in your that's in your mental energy. But this time it feels like you don't want to release them, so you just go. It's like you're putting yourself in this situation. Like she has this she's tied up in these ropes. It's not even ropes, it just look like cloth. It just look like loose cloth, and she has this it's like her eyes are covered with the same cloth, and it's almost like she can't see the dilemma, and it's like she's blind, and her feet is in the water, right? her feet her feet is in the water, and she's feeling around. You know, she's touching the water, and she's feeling it, and that's her way of navigating, is through her feet, because she can't see. She can't see, and nor does she has access to her arms, but it really feels like she's putting herself in this bondage. She has the opportunity to wiggle around a little bit and get out if she really wanted to, but she doesn't want to. She doesn't. And so with this, with the moon, I'm trying to think. Yeah, there we go. So with the moon reversed, it's like, you know, like I was saying, the moon typically represents our unconscious behavior patterns and what we refuse to accept, like what we don't want to accept about ourselves, and we kind of project onto other people. It feels like that for sure. It's like with this new moon in Scorpio, it's situation that comes up that you know, kind of showcases that it's like you have to hold on a second. This new moon in Scorpio, this is hard. It's like I'm feeling it. Ooh, my stomach growling, the pain. I got this like pain in my back all of a sudden. Like maybe I need to drink some water. So with it upright, it feels like, you know, almost kind of like not trusting or not seeing how wanting to stay What I'm hearing is wanting to stay in the situation because you instinctually don't know why you're there. Like, you don't know why you're stuck in this past memory. You don't know why. You know in deep down that it's not gonna work, but you don't know why you stay. Like, you don't know. It's like you're not seeing, like, why, what you are. Like, when I said in the other one, it's like we project off on other people a lot, like unconscious things about ourselves we don't accept about ourselves. And it's like, maybe in this, it's that thing that you projecting out, it's like, you don't see it within yourself, and it's important for you to see it. And that's why you stay with the person, because you aren't ready to face it. That's what I'm hearing. It's that you aren't ready to face it. It's not that the understanding to what this person, like, why are you projecting on this person? Why are you projecting on this relationship? It's kind of like you don't. It's that you don't want to see it. You don't. It's just easier. It's easier to stay in it for you, because you don't have a reason why not to be in it. That, like, you haven't given yourself a good enough reason to get out of it. So it's easier to stay in it if you keep, it's like if you keep telling yourself all of these things. Like, it's like, this feels like you got yourself locked in your mental thoughts. Like, this person, things gonna change. This person gonna change. This person's gonna go back to being what I need them to be. This person gonna go back to. It's like, this is what this feels like. You're constantly projecting on this person and wanting them to be something for you that they're not. And it's like, that's why it's not working anymore. It's because they don't want to be that for you no more. It's like they don't want to do it. And it's kind of like you resent them for it. You want them to be what you need them to be. You need them to be, and they're like, no. And then instead of you accept it, they're no longer playing this role for you. You're like, I'm going to almost beat them into it. I'm gonna I'm feeling passive aggressive. So I'm going to passively aggressively do things that I know that's going to cause an argument and going to cause a fight, so I can bring up what they're not doing. So I can let them know how I really feel. So I'm going to be passive aggressive about it. It's like this tit for tat type of feeling, it feels like. But the thing is that, you got to let it go. So I have, it's time to go. This time is different. You're different. It's your sun. It's your joy. It's your sun. S-U-N. It's your joy. And I feel like that's what's at stake. It's like your sun. I equate sun to your perspective. It's your personality, your how you look at things. It's your point of view. And then it's kind of like your joy is at stake. It's like you never gonna get what you need out this situation, and your joy is at stake. What you find so dear to your, like, what you truly want is your joy, but you're never gonna get it if you keep living in the past. You keep living in the past. You keep living in this past emotional cycle. So that's what it feels like for this new moon in Scorpio. Is, it's a situation is like where you have this opportunity to get your joy back. To leave a situation that, to become aware of a situation that where you realize it's time to go, and then you start to begin to make your exit from the situation, from the emotion, from the thoughts, however you want to take it, from this past idea of yourself. Whatever it is you're stuck in the past, and you want to be stuck in the past. You don't want to see what's going on, because you can't. It's because you can't accept something about yourself, and you want to be lazy. You just want someone else to fill this void for you. You want someone else to do for you that you're not doing for yourself. And so that's what I'm feeling. And so that's week 1. That's what you're going to be dealing with. You know, at least that's the energy that I'm feeling that you're going to be dealing with. And that I couldn't even get it out, and I got cards flipping over right now. Look. All right, so this was week 2, half moon Aquarius, November 11th, 11/11. Ooh, that's a very powerful day, because you know the 11th month is November, and then the day 11. It's a very, 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 very powerful day for manifestation and manifestation, making things apparent, like where you can see crystal clear through things. It's very, because 11 is a very intuitive number. It's about hindsight. It's about looking at the past, and the 11th sign, of course, is Aquarius. It's about it's about developing hindsight to be able. All right, so it's about hindsight, studying like looking back at, taking hindsight and transforming that into insight. From that insight, you gain foresight. That's the thing about the Aquarius energy, and that 11 energy is very intuitive. You can see things. You may not understand what you're seeing, but you know it's like, I can see what's really going on here. And so it's like this veil is lifted on November 11th. Always, it's a great day for really seeing that the veil is lifted. And then it's like in Scorpio season, and I always think of the high priestess when I think of Scorpio. It's like the veil being lifted, secrets being revealed, that kind of thing. And it could be subtle. It don't always have to be just this dramatic thing, but it could be subtle. But let's go into the reading. So I got clear vision, and I originally had clever vision. Clever vision, clear vision, all over the place. It's around the corner. Find your place, claim your space. That all over the place. That is just this thought. It's like all over the place. Just came in my mind. So for week 2, for the half moon in Aquarius, it's this energy of feeling like, it's like, what's all over the place? That's the first thing. What's all over the place? You know, is it your spirit all over the place? Is it your mind all over the place? Is it your money all over the place? Is it your mind, your thoughts? Is your emotions all over the place? Is there clothes all over the place? Meaning, like, is your house junky? You know, it's like, what's all over the place? And it just feels like something is all over the place. And then it's like it's around the corner. So it feels like whatever it is, it's close. But you don't know you don't know that it's close because you're all over the place. So it's like you don't know where it's at because you can't focus. So that's what I'm feeling like. It's that feeling of not being able to focus. First card is Judgment. This card always feels so, it's like a decision has been made. A decision has been made. And so it's kind of feeling like this, and it feels like a divine. To me, this card always feels divine. When I think about judgment, it's a divine judgment. It's not a judgment. It's not like just a decision. Like, you know, it's like sometimes it's like we make a decision, you know, about stuff, and you know, and it's kind of like it. You know, it's like we make a decision, but like maybe it could be an intuitive decision. Maybe it could be a logical decision. But this decision feels like this judgment was something that's been in the works. Like it's been for a while. It's kind of like you've been dealing with something, and right now you make a final decision, and you're never gonna go back. And this feels like a decision has been made on your behalf. Like, you know, it's something you've been dealing with, and the universe is like, not going back this time. This is it. This is done. So by the half moon, you'll be made a decision that I'm done. The decision gonna be made for you. It's really about you accepting the decision that was made. And I'm feeling like with the King of Pentacles, what is this decision could be made about? Money seems to be very, very, very important this month. Money seems the coins seem to just keep coming up in abundance. Just keeps coming up, right? And it's like with this, it's like almost like when you think of upright, you think it's kind of like, it's, to me, when it's upright, you know, you see it and it's, you know, you think this means this, you're abundant, right? And I feel like you're making a parent abundant. This is releasing abundance, right? That's what I feel like when it's going down. It's saying like releasing abundance. It's releasing, and I'm even feeling physical like ailments. It's like I don't know why that came up, and it's my back is killing me right now, and my back usually feels very like Libra, like, you know, down there. It's like my back, but it could also be Leo. So I'm feeling it's, oh, back, it's like maybe back breaking work. That's what I felt. It's like, have you been working hard for your money? Have you been working hard for your resources? Doing some back breaking work, things that's strenuous on your back, things that's strenuous on your body. It's kind of like it's a decision that needs to be made dealing with your resources and how you gain your resources. Maybe releasing something, maybe releasing a job that is keeping you feeling like, you know, like it may pays well, but it's physically hurting your back. You know, it's hurting your body. It's hurting something, and it's hurting you on a physical level. And it's kind of like you want to keep it because you're making a lot of money, but maybe it's physically hurting you, physically making you sick, but you don't want to like let it go. But a decision is going to be made either way it go. So it's either you going to jump on board with the decision, or you're just not. And it don't matter because things is happening. And I say that, and then we get this. Hold on, wait. I'm trying to remember which came first. I think it was this one that came first, and then it was the Fool's card. And I mean, it says Three of Wands. It's your spirit is going in another direction, and it's time to honor that. It's time to honor your spirit. It's time to move forward into a new direction. It's leaning strong on because he's leaning strong on this one wide, real hard. And it's like that's the one. Yeah, it feels like you depending on this. It's like you got this. It feels like for the, you know, cause right. You're going in a new direction anyways. Even though you're finding it hard to want to let go of this job or let go of whatever um, resources, whatever, it could, you know, it could be what it feels like resources. It's kind of like you're going into this new direction whether you want to or not. It's just time is up. Like you can't make a decision. The decision is being made for you in the spirit realm. Time is up. And even though you may not even understand, you know, because this thing is giving you physical, is creating physical illness in your life, and it's not working, and it's time, and it's time to go in a new direction. It's time to make a new plan. Like, this is what I mean. It's time to make a new plan. It's time to follow the spiritual plan. So maybe not even make a new plan. It's time to follow your spirit. What motivates you? Like, for real, what inspires you? Everything got dark up in here. But yeah, what inspires you? What inspires you to move? Because this is about movement. This is about like looking at what you've done and what you've been through, and looking at the ship sailing in the past, and realizing like, I need to move on. I need to be on these ships. And this feels like, for the half moon in Aquarius, it's time to play the fool. It's time to start a new adventure. It's time to move forward and release. Right? It's that beginning to release and commit to you. Commit to a new adventure. Like to commit to new plans. This is a great sign that you're being thrusted into a new lesson. You're being thrusted into a new adventure, a new journey. And it's just time. Like, it may seem scary, you know, you may feel excited about it, you know. This could thing like this right here could mean that you are the type of person that made the decision a long time ago that you were leaving something, you was leaving behind something very important. You were letting go of something that, you know, you found you feel is very important to you. It makes you feel wealthy. It could be wealth, it could be money, it could be a house, it could be a relationship, and you like, I'm letting this go. This is holding me back. It's causing me physical illness. I keep feeling physical illness. It's causing me physical illness. It's causing me to be sick. It's causing me not to feel good. Whatever you were directing your energy towards, you kind of like, I'm done with it. And then you know, and you can be like making a new plan, ready to follow what you're like, really willing to follow your spirit. You're trying to see where your spirit is leading you. And then you like, come on, I'm ready. I'm off on this new journey. You know, that could be you. But either way it goes, you fighting it and universe makes a decision for you, or you are on board with it and you've been decided a long time ago that this was up to you. The universe is validating, is confirming your decision, but you had already made a decision, right? So that's what I got for the that's what I got for week 2. The next week we're going to discuss is the week 3, and it's the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. Already popped out as I was talking about, reversed again. The same cards keep popping out, so we'll just sit that there. And so yeah, so the full moon Taurus. And what I got with the full moon Taurus, which is gonna be November the 19th, is no more hiding. What? So yeah, all right. So this was a little interesting. That when I was in my meditation, I got this. No more hiding. What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys. Done with surprises. And pay your due. Pay what's due. So I wonder if that's why the King of Pentacles popped out. Because it feels like you're being called to pay your dues. And the energy is feeling like, what does that mean, to pay your dues? It can be, you know, and it's financial clearly. What do you owe? What have you been avoiding paying? What have you have not been able to pay? What is, you know, financially, it's time to take care of these things, and it's the time is called, time is up, it's time to pay your dues. And it seems like you can't hide anymore. What you gonna do when the bad boys, what you gonna do when the what you call it, people start calling you? We call them the bad boys, the creditors. It's time to take care of your creditors. It's time to make a plan with them. It's time to figure it out. It's time because right now you gotta, it feels like clearing up your karma. Like, that's what I'm feeling. Clearing up your karma, your financial karma. Because you have a lot of abundance coming your way, but it's almost like you can't receive it because you're backed up on debt and dues. And dues can also mean your physical dues. Like, all right, when like Taurus is about boundaries, beliefs, and I wrote down like routine. So it's kind of like pay your dues also could also mean like, in order to manifest abundant, you have to have an abundant routine. You know, you have to set time for making time to setting routines in place to pay your bills, but also setting money-making routines, like, you know, being grateful, setting time for gratitude, setting time for setting time for like creating proper boundaries with yourself, like boundaries to where people don't just come to you and take up your time when you're supposed to be working. Like when you're at work and you're working and people come into you and they want to hold you up and they want to talk to you. It's kind of like boundaries. Maybe it's kind of like setting boundaries for time to work and time to play, boundaries with people, as far as like just taking up your time and energy. Like whenever they come around, they wanna hold you hostage and talk to you until you blue in the face. Like they just holding up your time. This is a waste of your time and your energy. You're giving all your energy away. So it's kind of like create boundaries on your energy. Like stop giving your energy to people who aren't I don't want to say worth it, but who aren't beneficial to you, to your progression, especially your financial progression. So it's just feeling like it's kind of like pay your dues by creating routines and constantly like routines that directly creating routines that directly is in alignment with what you're manifesting. So sitting down and planning out what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis that is going to call in abundance in your life. Affirmations are great. Like I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, money flows to me. All those things are great. But you have to back it up with actions. What are you doing that is showcasing this, that you are abundant? Not just Xing out a thought comes in your mind, trying to keep a positive mind and trying to change your beliefs. That's dealing with Taurus too. Changing your beliefs behind money is great, but it's more about like you can try to believe money flows to you all the time, but it's not about that. You don't have to have a strong belief that money is going to come to you for money to come to you. You don't have to lie to yourself, so much to try to get your. It's like fake it till you make it. You don't have to actually do that. What you really have to do is just have faith. Here go faith. Talking about faith again. Faith. Have faith in your fate. Fate. Right? By actually saying like, okay, writing to yourself like, what makes money? What's gonna make me money? Right? This is what's gonna make me money. Right? By being on time for meetings, that's gonna make me money, right? Because you're punctual, keeping your house clean, folding up your clothes, that's gonna make you money. I'm telling you, it's gonna make you money. Focusing on like cooking, preparing yourself healthy meals, that's gonna make you money. Go and work out, that's gonna make you money. Because all of these things are building up your strength and also is helping you to gain clarity of mind. Right? So when opportunities come your way, you're prepared. So what's gonna make you money is to be prepared for the money. So doing things that make you feel prosperous by taking care of yourself, maybe by running a nice luxurious bath that makes you feel all abundant and prosperous, right? But it can just be as simple as spending time reading a book on finances, how you can make more money. That is putting a routine in place. Like every day I'm going to read a page out of this How to Make Money book or whatever, or how to run a better business, something like that. I'm going to read an article once a day, or I'm going to join a group that helps, teach me how to invest, like that. That's creating money making opportunities. If you have your own business, making it a habit to tell somebody every day what you do. Finding one person that you can share what you do, how you can help them, what you sell, that. It's like money making routines is about creating routines to help you to manifest your manifest abundance. You gotta pay your dues. You gotta do it. You gotta actively be doing it in order to manifest whatever it is you want to manifest, right? So, all right. I feel like this card came out, and then so the reverse justice card came out. It feels this got lots of reverses going on here, right? It's no more hiding. What you gonna do when they come for you? Yeah, this feels debt, like debts being paid. Like you have to, it's time up. You can't run no more. You can't feel like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this. You just gotta figure it out. You have to, in order for you to really to manifest more abundance in your life, you have to create a plan for the abundance. So it's like, in order for the universe to send you more opportunities, you gotta start to make a plan and make a promise that I'm gonna take care of these things. Like that's what it feels like. You're gonna, so with the third week with the full moon, it's like something's gonna come up and it's like justice is gonna prevail. Like, you know, and if you're releasing justice, being just to yourself, being just to the situation, and then death. The death card come up. And this feels like, wow, that's powerful. You know, transformation. Like by spending that time making a plan to be fair, making a plan to be fair to yourself by paying your dues, by paying what you owe people, because then it frees up your consciousness. It frees up your energy. You don't feel bad like you cheating somebody. You know what I'm saying? You feel like you open yourself up, right? And then that's when you begin to transform, right? It's like death, leaving behind the old you so that you can embrace this new you, the one who takes responsibilities for their actions, the one who reap what they sow, right? The one who, you know, who don't just keep making excuses for their debts. They are mature. They're mature. So it's kind of like that. It's feeling like we have these three cards that, oh, the other way. You know, it's this whole, you know, what you gonna do when they come for you. It's kind of like having blocks and like losing your prosperity, having blocks in your prosperity, having blocks in your having blocks in your financial flow, right? It's this just. It's like you need to pay your dues. It's creating routines that will help you, routines and plans, and changing your beliefs behind the fact that you can't, that you lost money, or that you're mismanaging your money. That's what it feels like. You're mismanaging your riches, and you got dues that's due. You don't know how you gonna pay it. The universe is like, but you gotta figure it out because things are due. So you gotta figure out how you gonna pay this, and from that you're going to, from the plan you will transform, right? When you transform, let's see what comes up. When you transform for the full moon eclipse, no more surprises, pay your due. When you transform, there will be no more surprises, right? Alright. Alright. These cards right here popped out. Alright. So when you pay your dues, you begin to build a very strong foundation. When you start to pay your dues, this is gonna open you up. So it's like you're releasing your old debts. You're releasing this thought that you don't know how to play, you don't know how to take care of these, that you don't know how to manage your money. It's kind of like, yeah, well, you do. And when you start to make a plan for it, and you start to feel confident in your plan. You start to feel sure, and you begin to conserve your money versus just spending it and not knowing what you're doing with it. You start to become a little shrewd. I want to say that that's the word. You start to hold on to your coins a little tighter. You start to ground yourself and understand, what you really need to be, spending your money on, and to stabilize yourself, right? And then also to using your brain, actually using your brain to figure out how to gain more, how to release how to release you learn how to balance. Okay, this what came to me. This, I don't know what happened to that other thought, but what came to me is this, because I got this heaviness in my head, is that clarity in mind. So being able to balance your heart and your thoughts, you know. And so another card is the Knight of Pentacles. It's like this. It's a lot of pentacles in this one. And 3, it's this, what you gonna do when they come for you, It's, and like the Knight of Pentacles reverse, it's like, lack of routines, lack of progression, right? It's gonna feel like, it's gonna feel like you, like, this week it's gonna feel like you've slowed down and you don't really know what's going on. You're gonna feel your routines are off. You're gonna be feeling like, like you don't know what you're doing, like you've lost direction, right? Because it's the thing about it is sometimes it gotta get worse before it get better. So we think, when you're transforming, because right now week 3 is when transformation gonna kick. It's gonna really kick in, and we're always transforming, but this week transformation is going to be huge, and you're going to be trying to stabilize yourself, but you're going to feel within trying to stabilize yourself with the 4, trying to stabilize your finances. It's just going to feel like, you have to slow all the way down. Your routines are completely different because you're like I was saying, you have to develop money making routines. But first, before you don't just go into money making routines. It's a whole process. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be slowing down, looking at your current routines and looking at how you've been doing things, and realizing, okay, this is why I'm having issues with my money. This is why I can't pay my bills. This is why, it's because I'm doing this, that, and the other. It's because, I'm spending so much time on this. I'm not spending enough time on that. It's like you're going to start being able to see it. And then you're going to start being able to, like, once you're aware of it, you're gonna be able to change it. Like, naturally, you're going to be able to start implementing different little things, like new things that's going to help you, in the long term. So it's like you got to take a little hit now, but in the long term, it's going to be for your benefit. And the reason what I feel is because the King of Wands, this man right here, this person right here they're enterprising. They make money, and it is not so much. How can I say this? It's more like this. It's this spirit. It's this. I attract money to me because I have good business sense. I have good. I have a good like intuition, right? To where I know good opportunities when they come to me. So it's like, that's why when this card comes up is when you take the time to pay more attention to your routines, and you slow your routines down, you are able to come up with better solutions and see better opportunities for you to make money. right? To create those money-making routines, which then creates this money-making spirit, which creates this prosperity that's all around you, to where you can spiritually discern, like, oh, this is a money-making opportunity. Okay, let me create routines that supports this money-making opportunity. You know, it uplifts your spirit, right? And so then we have the Two of Swords reversed, and and I feel with this is it's the release of the blocks. Like, you know, we have the two connects. I like to connect two with Taurus, because Taurus is the second sign. So it's beliefs. Like when I connect Taurus to beliefs, and it feels like what you believe is what you achieve, right? As you know, as far as a lot of the times we rely on our beliefs to to dictate what we do and what we don't do, what we see and what we don't see, right? So by come this, you know, this for this solar eclipse, no, it's a lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse in Taurus, this is about releasing the beliefs, the mental blocks that's keeping, that is releasing them in the beliefs. That's what it is. Mental blocks. A mental block is a belief, an incompatible belief. So it's releasing these incompatible beliefs about your ability to take care of your finances. It's like when you think like, I don't know what to do, and you're not making a conscious effort to make a decision, you just stay stuck in limbo. Like right now, it's like, but when you don't make a conscious decision and you stay stuck in limbo, then nothing, you never see, right? But with this full moon, you have with this full moon in Taurus, you have the opportunity to release the beliefs. So let's just, you have this opportunity to let to kind of like stop the leak in your resources, right? Is kind of like, having justice for yourself, and focusing on releasing resources that no longer are compatible with what you got going on, right? Like especially if you have a house you can't afford, you have, you know, is you have credit cards that you keep charging on but you can't afford to pay them. It's like releasing these debts and paying your dues, like really paying attention to your dues, and releasing the things that's keeping you from paying your dues, right? That's justice, that's fair. That's being fair to yourself and being fair to others, to like stop trying to keep up a facade that isn't trying to keep up a facade that isn't working, that is only causing you to have to pay, like not be able to pay and sustain a lifestyle that is accurate to what your current financial standing is. That's what I'm feeling. And through taking responsibility for that and letting go of what you can no longer afford, you're able to, you know, transformation happens. Like you naturally begin to transform, and you naturally, you know, it's death, right? It's death of your old self. It's death of all these things that you were holding on to, that was kind of holding your prosperity hostage, your real prosperity. You faking the funk, right? So you're faking the funk, not paying, creating debt, not paying your dues, not paying your debt. And it's like when you start to transform, you then begin to start stabilizing what you do have. You know, you start stabilizing things you can't afford. You start stabilizing. You start being able to pay your debt, being able to live more comfortably. And then, you know, while you're stabilizing, you know, because that's the goal, to stabilize, right? And to build on solid foundations, you begin to one, create better and efficient routines, because now you're looking at your routines, which created this imbalance to begin with your finances. And then you begin to have this awareness of the right opportunities you should be taking, what you should be focusing on. And it's like this entrepreneur spirit takes over, where you have this very strong nature of knowing like what opportunities work and what opportunities don't, and what routines you need to put in place to nurture these opportunities, these money making opportunities. And then from there, then the blocks release, the blinders come off, right? The blinders come off, the mental blocks, the beliefs that you once had that created these mental blocks, it all falls off. And then you're able to really see, like you release it, right? And you're able to really see what you really want for yourself, how you can really sustain yourself, how you can really build real wealth, because you've taken the time to take care, to pay your dues. You've taken the time to pay your dues. What you gonna do when them people come for you? What you gonna do when them creditors come for you? What you gonna do? You're gonna keep, you can't hide no more from them. You gotta make a decision. You gotta make a plan. You make a plan, then the universe is gonna honor that plan. They're gonna help you. It's gonna help you mentally, spiritually, and emotionally fulfill that plan. It's not as hard as you think, but you gotta stop running. You gotta stop trying to hide, trying to act like the debt not there, and make a plan for it. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but taking the time to make a plan for it, it won't be uncomfortable for long, right? All right, so now I want to talk sun and Sag. The sun will be moving in Sag this month on November 22nd, and it will be there to December the 21st. And when I think of sun and Sag, when I think of Sagittarius, I think of fate, F-A-T-E, and I think of fate, F-A-I-T-H. I think of fate, because you gotta have faith to expand, because that's the other word, is expansion. With Sagittarius, I think of, I think of expansion with Sagittarius. I think of Sagittarius. I think of joy. With Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. I think of luck, serendipity. So it's kind of like Sagittarius season hit, it feels like things just fall in line. Like things just fall out the sky. You're like, how did I get so lucky? Like your luck, and you bump into that person at the right time, and it's the right opportunity. You wasn't even looking for it. It just like smacked you in the face. You didn't have to, it's just like, oh, here we go. Like you're walking down the street, you find $1, you find $5, or you lost, and this person at the right time come and give you the best directions, or you meet the love of your life at a coffee stand or whatever, and you weren't even planning on going to that coffee stand today. Then all of a sudden you went there and you met this person. Now you with them 20 years later. Like that's the kind of stuff like that happens during Sagittarius season. It's like this things that completely because Sagittarius is things that completely change your life. It's like that, like in a split moment. You've been waiting for it, and it's because you've been through the transformation in Scorpio season, right? So you manifested in Libra season. You go through you transform from what's been made apparent in Libra season, but what you really want for your life, and things that need to be let go of, and come Scorpio season, it's like you transforming to become that person, and you start to let go of things. It's like naturally, you start to transform past the things that's holding you back. You start to transform past the things that's keeping you from stepping into your personal power, or recognizing your personal power. And come Sagittarius season, you're ready to take a leap of faith. It's like you're open. You're ready to move on to the next step. You're ready. It's like you're at the end. Sagittarius season is like the end. So when you're at the end, you're ready to transition into a new, right? So you done freed yourself up, and so it's like now you done freed yourself up in Scorpio season. So now you can see it. Now it's like It's not like these things don't happen to you all the time. See, that's the thing. The serendipity, the luck, all these things happen to you all the time, but you don't see it. You typically don't see it, you know. It's because you're so bogged down with all of these things that distracted, right? But you're less likely to be distracted in Sagittarius season because you done did all of this deep work. You done did the deep work in Scorpio, right? And in Sagittarius season, it's like expansion, right? So this is what I got from my meditation. What it says, watch what you say what you mean. It's fair, it's there. Come on, not too late. And I had an image of a light bulb coming on when it was like, come on. It's like, come on. Like, it's like, at first I was like, come on. Like, you know, I was thinking like, come on, you know, but it felt like, you know, when somebody like, come on, we're going to this place. Come on, let's go do this. Like that. Like, it could be that, you know. But I really felt like, come on, like a light bulb moment. Like, you come on. Like, you turn on, right? So it could be that, you know, maybe it's like the universe, the energy, the spirit is saying like, come on now, it's time to get going. It's time to start this journey. Let's go. You know, it could be that, you know, and it can also be like a light bulb type of moment that you have, like when you come on and you light up. Because Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's like when you really, it's like you doing what you're passionate about, right? Like you think of that when you're in Leo season too. All fire signs, they come on when they doing what they're passionate about, you know. And it's like Sagittarius is like when they're doing what they're passionate about, they light up. Like all fire signs, right? They light up, right? So it's like kind of like what motivates you, it lights you up. Whatever inspires you, it lights you up. You like gotta do it, you're following it. And that's when the serendipity happened. That's when the luck happened. It's when you're not like trying to hold yourself back. You're trying to travel. That's another thing. Sagittarius is travel. So it's a great time if you're planning a trip or you want to go on a trip to plan a trip during this time. The money gonna just start to make its way through. You're gonna automatically, you know, it's like things just happen. It's like when you focus your mind on what you want and during that time, it's like things just start making a way for it to happen. So I'm feeling that, like, you know, it's that watch what you say. Watch what you say during this time, because what you say can really influence. All right. Again, the Three of Wands, same cards keep cycling through. I feel like this is important, and I feel like that's just, you know, that's great, because it's letting us know what to really focus on. So one thing for sure, it's like it's like say what you say, watch what you say, because it manifests. You know, it manifests. It's happening. It's like it's instant feedback. You know, whatever you say, it come back to you, right? And so it's like, come on, it's not too late, right? So it's like feeling like for this Sagittarius season, it's about progression. It's like coming on, like going, do the thing, going travel, right? Planning for travel, you know, planning for expansion, planning to take some risk, right? But then also being observant, not just taking the risk, right? But also like kind of like having a little like a little moment to like checking to see if it's sturdy. Like this what I feel like he has his arm on there, he's leaning on there. When you're leaning on something, it has to kind of be kind of sturdy, right? So checking to see like these opportunities and this luck that just happened, you're still leaning in on it a little bit, making sure that it's secure, right? And then also when you see that it's secure, lean in it, go all the way in. When you see that it's secure and it's gonna hold you, go all the way in that thing and start and enjoy it. Enjoy it. That's what I'm feeling. Let's see what else we can say. What you mean? Say what you mean. Like By this time, you should know what you want. Card just popped out. Then this time, you should know what you want. Oh, the Five of Cups. Say what you mean. So, here. So, it's feeling like with every great thing, you do have some, with every great opportunity comes some casualties. It's kind of like sometimes, you know, things come through and it's kind of like being focused on what was lost too. So it's kind of like, all right, say what you mean, say what you mean what you say. It's fair, it's there. So I'm going to say this, it's fair. I'm feeling that with this card. That even though it may not, like let's say, because with luck, right, you also have the opposite of that. So things may happen where it seems like you can't see the luck. Like that, this is, all right. So the opposite of the luck is to not see it. So not seeing the great things that's waiting behind you because you stuck on what was lost. So if you're stuck on, if you're stuck on what was lost, then you're not gonna see the luck in it. You won't see how lucky you really are because you're too busy like feeling and mourning what you lost instead of seeing the two cups that's standing straight up behind you. And so it feels like, yeah, when you go out there and you take that luck, and then that might happen too. Like sometimes we go, like luck, serendipitous things happen, great things happen to us, and then right after that, like something tragic happens. And then it's almost like the thing that was serendipitous and with luck, it's like, oh no, this was a sham. Like I thought this was this, and then it's kind of like, but it wasn't. So it really was a tragedy. But not seeing that, the luck is in the tragedy. The positive is in the tragedy. You just can't see it yet, right? So be sure too that what I'm feeling is, be sure you know what you want, like what you really want, because the universe will give you what you want, what you say you want, and it not really be what you really want. And then you get it, and then you like, wait, but this is not it, right? But then on the flip side, you can say what you want, and then the universe can take some things from you and then give you what you want. But you so busy like mourning over the loss that you don't see. Like the universe just set you up for a big old comeback. So take your time and grieve. Like that's another thing. Take your time and grieve what's lost, but don't spend so much time lost in the grief. Queen of Wands. So with the Queen of Wands, I'm feeling with the Sun in Sagittarius, it's like the Queen of Wands is, I think this is a very positive omen of, this is what comes after the grief, right? It's the Queen of Wands is very, it gives off this energy of being very warm, very vibrant, very, she knows, she discerns, you know, she knows. You have this, you have the cat at the bottom, is that she knows. It's just that I know what's going on. I know the spirits, you know, even though things may not seem like, you know, like okay, so like things may seem bad, right? Like things may seem bad, but the queen taking on this personality trait, if you have this mind right here, you're able to say, even though things seem like I lost something, it's being able to seeing what you gain, being able to see these cups, right? And being confident and having faith. Faith, having faith that everything is working out exactly as it should. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So Sagittarius season is taking risk, but it's planned risk, calculated risk, right? Leaning in on the spirit, leaning in on your spirit, your spiritual hunches. You know, with the three is spontaneous. I like to see the three connects with the Gemini sign. You know, Geminis are great at relations. They're great at being able to relate different things that's completely different to something else. They're great at relating to people, being able to communicate and understand people. And they're great at short distances, and like they like to know their environment. They like to know like they're like the directions. Like they're really good at knowing the inner workings of their city. Like, you know, they know the shortcut to this place. They just know, right? Short-term travel. And I feel like with this is like, it's just knowing like where was I going with that? The short term, knowing, okay, so leaning in on that, being very knowledgeable about your environment, and then it's kind of like leaning in on your spirit, and from that basic knowledge of things, right? It's kind of like like I don't know where I was going with that, and I'm trying to make it work. Oh, my back hurt. I think it was about relations. That's the main thing. I think I was going with that is being able to relate. It's like now that I'm looking at it though, so you got these three wads and then you got these three cups on the ground, right? It's kind of like, I'm wondering how is that connected, you know? It's like, it's this spirit, right? Following your spirit, and like, you know, and waiting for your ship to come in. I feel like following your spirit, waiting till your ship come in, like this luck thing, and being able to relate and see, like, you know, using that quality of being able to see, like relating like this to this. I might have to let go of this for this, and this seemed like this don't go together, but this actually could go together. And then making plans and following your spirit based off of that, being able to like kind of relate things to another thing. I guess that's where I was going with that. And then from that, your relations and your connections may not always work. And then, you may not be able to see something, right? But then trusting and having faith that, your spirit is leading you in the right direction, even though your emotions may come in. Like, that's the thing, is your spirit got another plan than outside of what your emotions got. So it's kind of like you gotta lose these emotions, lose these emotions to be able to gain new emotional cycles. And then when you're able to see that not every loss is a loss. Like when you grieve and you say, you know what, I lost this. I feel sad about it. But you know what? I see the silver lining in it all. I see my spirit moving. I see my spirit. Elevating. Right. I'm gonna do one more card for this, and then I'm gonna move on to the last one, week 4 with the half moon Virgo. But right now I'm gonna do one more card to kind of clarify this sun in Sagittarius and this whole say what you mean what you say. What's going on? Okay. Oh, this is getting dark. All right, so I pulled this 9 of Swords. It's the anxiety. It feels like for Sagittarius season, you're going to be dealing with your anxieties. You're going to be dealing with some anxieties. And because you're taking these risks, it's like ups and downs. That's what it's feeling like. It's like following your spirit, having a setback, then readjusting from that setback, then now you're moving on to a mental setback. All of this is a battle of your spirit. It's like your spirit your spirit is trying to help you, nurture you through your emotional issues. So it's like you know, you following your spirit, you making plans, you taking risks, you making relations, and then bam, something emotional happens, you know, you grieving, but then you're able to see past the grief, and then it's kind of like, but then you have a point to where it's like you waking up, you having anxiety about mental anxieties about what's going on with you and what's going on with your life, and what's going on with the decisions you made. And you know, not Sagittarius seem like a curse but it's an N. Again, nine is an N. So wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, 9 is an N. And so it's kind of like this is the end of a cycle, an emotional, a mental, this anxiety that you've been having. It's an end. It's at the end. And I know it seems like it's the worst. You know, it's going to feel like this is too much for you to handle. It's going to break you, but it's not. And then I pulled the magician reversed. And it feels like what you're releasing is the need to have to want to control your environment. Where did that come from? It's releasing the need. Like I feel like that. It's releasing the need to want to have to control your environment. It's kind of like you develop your inner strength. You no longer worry about other people. You no longer worry about I guess that it's not too late. I mean, no, hold on. Oh, I think this is that it's fair, it's there, come on, not too late. What you say what you mean. It's fair, it's there, come on, not too late. Image of a light bulb. So this is what this about. The image of the light bulb comes off is that your environment is not important. Like the outside circumstances is not important. Trying to change the outside circumstances is not important. It's what's important is your inner, right? I feel like it's this. You have to. Oh shit! My back is really hurting right now. It's like this persistent. It's like stabbing in my back. It's making me feel like, how would it feel if I turned this card around? It's like, because when you think of the reverse magician, you think like, it's like abracadabra, and it's like the magician like creates his environment, right? And you're like this magical being that can like manifest your reality, right? But with this, it feels like what you're manifesting is an environment within. And it feels like that it's releasing the need to have to feel like you want to have to manifest your environment, like physically have to do it. But like understanding that in order to really manifest your environment, like everything else is superficial, right? But in order to really change your environment, you have to change yourself. And it's kind of like going through this whole ups and downs type of this up and down, this cycle. At the end of the cycle, you're going to be able to change yourself. It's like this inner transformation that's gonna occur. Like you're gonna be the person. It's like you're gonna feel different. You're not gonna focus on manifesting things in the outside world, like manifesting a new car, manifesting a new job. Like this is what it's like. Watch what you say. Say what you mean, like that. It's like with this, it's kind of like you're gonna have this discernment. You're gonna know that your words mean something, and so you're gonna be very cautious about worrying about manifesting material things. You're gonna redirect your focus to manifest inner things, because you're gonna realize that the inner things is what automatically, it's like when you focus on the inner thing, it innerly changes your energy, right? When you focus on yourself, you, instead of focusing on your environment, changing that, when you focus on changing you, you naturally, it's like inside, outside, right? So when you speak to yourself with kind words, right? You speak, you begin to speak to others with kind words. When you speak life into you and you say, I'm worthy of this, I'm worthy of love, right? Love naturally comes around you. People want to love you, right? It's tapping into that inner musician, It's like not focusing on trying to, like I said, like manifesting a house or trying to, change, just focus on just changing your house, but you never change your inner. So let's say you're a junky person, right? And so you have junk everywhere and you just spend a weekend cleaning out the garage, or say it's the garage, or cleaning out a room, getting rid of stuff, right? How many times have you done that? And then next year, you end up in the same situation. You got a junky room, and now it's even more junky, which you never actually took the time to change what causes the junk. What causes you to keep accumulating things and to keep having to, get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. It's that, this whole... It's kind of like, it's this, this whole month, it sounds like talking about your finances. And I was talking about creating healthy creating money making routines. Like, this in itself is that dealing with yourself, you're loving yourself, and getting to the root cause to why you think that you need this stuff, right? You need all of this stuff outside of you. You need to change all of this stuff, right? Why? It's maybe because you aren't happy with something within you, and you're trying to fill it by spending so much time, in your outside world. But if you, that money making routine you create is loving yourself, then, and understanding yourself, loving yourself, understanding yourself, then it's kind of like prosperity. That's when you build prosperity. That's when you know what to do with your money and your efforts, that you don't keep getting rid of stuff only to gain a whole bunch of more stuff, right? Stuff that you don't need. So that's what I got with that. Sun and Sag. Watch what you say what you mean. It's fair, it's there. Come on, it's not too late. It's not too late for you to switch your focus or get clear on your focus. So now, the last week we're going to move into, which is week 4, waning half moon in Virgo. And it's on November 27. Leaving things undone. This is what I got. Leaving things undone, become undone. Expect battle to settle. That's what I was getting. So it's like that, leaving things undone, become undone. Some keywords for Virgo I got is discernment, organized, clean, purity. All right, again, the Queen of Wands just pop out. That's interesting. So leaving things undone, you become undone. So we're just going to say what the Queen of Wands is discerning, right? Being able to see, okay. Then I get the Ace of Swords, reverse. Leaving things undone, right? Leaving things undone, you become undone. So it's either leaving things undone or become undone. That's kind of, it's like leaving it, but then part of me, what came up was like leaving things undone, you become undone. So when you leave things undone, your world starts to unravel. You don't actually spend time securing things, ending things, right? It's kind of like, it feels like with this last quarter of the moon, week 4, and then you have the last quarter of the moon, the waning half moon in Aries. Okay, then I just pulled out the Knight of Cups. All right. So we're in Sag season at this point, right? I'm wondering, so the last card was the Magician. On the Magician, on the table, you know, they had a wide, it had a sword, it had a cup. I'm wondering, is this next card that's going to come out, it's going to be a Pentacle? Because then that just makes me wonder, like, you know, it's kind of like leaving things no, it's not, but guess what it is? The Devil reversed. Okay, this is getting very interesting. So the Queen of, so we got, for this 4th week, the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the Devil, and then the Ace of Cups. And hold on, and the Hierophant. This is interesting. The Ace of Cups reversed, and the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is up. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the Devil, the Ace of Cups, and the Hierophant. All right. So I'm feeling like, all right, so I'm not sure. It's to expect the battle to settle. All right, so I guess I'll start with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so it's, what's coming to me is, I'm feeling, you know, taking responsibility for this one is kind of hard. Leaving things undone, become undone. Battle, expect the battle to settle. So maybe it's leaving things undone, become undone. Become undone. So if I focus on become undone, so it's kind of like, so with the 4th quarter, the 4th quarter is about acceptance, right? And or at least it can be yeah, it's about acceptance. It's become undone. It feels like, I don't know if you've ever watched the show, and it's just coming to me. It's called Undone. It's on Amazon Prime. And in this show, it's about this lady, this girl, she's going through a spiritual awakening. And so it's like, you know, and her spiritual awakening takes her through, like her dad had died when she was a kid, and it's like it takes her through all of this, and then she gets put into like a mental, like, she actually, was it a mental hospital? No, it was just a hospital. She was in a car accident, then she was in a hospital, and all kind of stuff. And I don't know why I'm bringing that up right now, but it feels like become undone. It's like, it feels like with this Virgo energy, with this last quarter, it's kind of like allowing yourself to unravel. It's like to just be like to just be what it is. It's like leaving things undone. So instead of, see, I'm thinking it means leaving things undone, you become undone, but I feeling that's not what this message is saying. I feel like Spirit is saying that sometimes you have to leave things undone. You have to become undone. You have to leave things. You have to let certain things go. You have to not even let certain things go. You just have to like not try to make things work. You just gotta leave it undone. Sometimes it's not for you to make it done. It's just to live in it and accept that it's undone. Accept that it's not finished. Accept it for where it is right now in this moment, instead of trying to make it into something else. And I feel like with this Queen of Wands, is being confident in the undoneness, right? It's seeing, it's discerning, like, okay, like this don't need to be finished right now. It's being grateful for where it's at and what's going on with it. And then with the Ace of Swords, it's kind of like letting go. It's like usually when the Ace of Swords up, it's like you're manifesting a new thought, it's new idea, right? But when it's like releasing a new idea. So I think that's that whole thing is like being undone, like it's kind of like, maybe you had an idea and it's like this idea that things need to be done, right? And then releasing this thought that it got to be done right now. And we spend so much time making plans. It's like wanting things to be finished and not wanting them to be undone, and kind of wanting to feel like we were doing something. But I think right now it's like sitting with it, like releasing this idea, this initial thought that something has to be done. Like this main persistent thought in your head. It's like your first thought when you wake up in the morning, like, I got to get this done. Like, it's kind of like letting that go and being okay with that it's not done. It's okay that the dishes aren't done. It's okay that the clothes are not folded. It's okay that you haven't finished that project. It's okay like that, things are undone. Like, it's okay, like, be undone, right? And then with the Knight of Cups, I feel this is about like looking at your, like, it's like being inspired by your emotions. It's like letting your emotions, so it's like letting the thought go, like letting that thought go, and being in love with where you're at, right? It's like being creative, like letting your creative juices go and just feel thrust into the moments and of life, and like spending time and being romantic and and going on a date, or making a poem, or writing a letter, or just letting your creative side out, your romance side, listening to some sensuous music, and just really just looking into your emotions and feeling, not only looking into them, embracing them, loving them, looking at them, just being in love with your life. Like, that's what this is feeling like, being in love with where you are right now, being in love with being undone, being in love with things not being done, like letting all of that go. And from that, it's releasing yourself from bondage, like releasing yourself from this devil, right? Like, it's like when we think of the devil, the devil card is the zodiac is Capricorn, right? And if you ever think about it, Capricorn, some of them are very work driven. Their work, they like to get things done, right? So it's like things being undone, they like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't work. They like to work. They like, they feel great about being on their job for so long. I mention this all the time, but Capricorns, they do, But it feels like they can get trapped in the pleasures, too, like of work. Like, they get pleasure out of working. They get pleasure out of providing for their family, providing for themselves, like, they get pleasure out of accomplishments, So when something is done, you feel accomplished, right? It's kind of feeling like release yourself from the validation, because when you feel accomplished, you feel like you validated that you completed something, that you did what you were supposed to do. It's kind of like embracing like that things are undone, and it's freeing, because then you're able to release yourself from this perfection, this perfect need, like this need for perfection, you know. It's like and which then a lot of the times we get stuck in trying to make things perfect. We can get stuck in that and not really be satisfied. It could be done, but you cannot be satisfied. And then you can look back at all the things you had to do, you know, the late nights, the eating wrong because, you know, like you stayed up all night and then you had to eat late, or you're not nurturing yourself right, you know, you're not getting your exercises in because you're so busy focused on this one achievement, you know, or you're overdoing everything, you know, just overdoing it, you know, trying to compensate. And it's like because, you know, because you're so stuck in trying to have to finish something. So it's like, but when you so my phone died. Well, I was recording, that was getting good too. But yeah, so with the devil reverse, yeah, I'm feeling like when you allow yourself to become undone and to be creative, and to with the Knight of Cups, be creative with your process. It's being, and when you do that, it's like you allow yourself to be able to release yourself from your struggles, you know, this struggle of having to get things done all the time, and also having this almost level of perfection, you know, that is hard to live up to, and which ends up meaning it's like the project gotta be done and it's gotta be perfect, and then but other areas in your life are neglected because of it, right? It's kind of like, but when you allow yourself the creative, like a creative flow through your routines, then you're able to kind of like spend some time loving yourself, you know. You're able to spend some time taking care of yourself and balancing things out to where you don't overdo stuff needing to be perfect, you know. Just the devil's in the detail came up for me with this one. It's like the devil's in the details. It's like when we spend so much time like glossing over things, right? Trying to be done with stuff, right? Or even trying to create this perfectness to whatever it is we're doing. We typically miss like the journey, the details. That's when it's like we're a second too late with stuff. Like, oh, if I only would have done this, then, you know what I'm saying? If I would have slowed myself down, I would have been able to see this error. I would have been able to see this wasn't actually working. I would have been able to reassess and come up with a better plan, right? But being in a rush, got to get things done, and it just feel good to like check off that to-do list. Maybe you're not paying attention to the fine details of it. And so then we got this reverse, this Ace of Cups reverse. And so with this one, it's like, it feels like I'm feeling like, all right, so with this, it's when it's up, it's kind of like my cup running over type of thing, right? My cup running over. But when it's this way, it's almost like the water is, it's like the water is, honestly, this really feels like it's, I'm feeling like it's the release. It feels like, it's like, this one, I'm trying to really, let me kind of think. With the Ace of Cups reverse, it just feels like this bird is going into the cup, And it's like the water is going up, right? And it's like so if my cup running over, it's kind of like filling your cup up with outside things. Like it's like, so if this is you, right, if this is spirit getting into this, when it's this way, it's like you have so much emotion that's coming from you, so much creativity that's coming from you, it just spills over, right, into other people and other things. But with this though, it feels like other things, it's kind of like filling your cup. So I wonder, how does that feel with expect the battle to settle, leaving things undone become undone? It's like, how does the Ace of Cups reverse speaks to this? It's like allowing yourself to become undone. Is that allowing others to influence you? I'm feeling like when things gotta be done, maybe for you, or maybe this energy is that sometimes it's okay to allow other sources to come in to fill your cup up when you are spending so much time trying to overflow, right? Sometimes maybe you should allow your environment to nourish you, right? Like your, like let, this feels so weird to say, you know, but to allow the emotions of like outside inspiration to happen, right? It's like, it's kind of like, let's see, because then we have this Hierophant, right? And this is about structured spirituality. It's about, in a way, religion, right? So it's kind of like becoming undone and getting into, like, it's like seeking the spirit. It's kind of like, become undone. Like free yourself from the, it's like, this is getting really hard. Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to hear spirit. It's almost like you're so stuck in having things be your way, look the way you think it should be done, and being completed with the task, that you're not allowing spirit to come in and speak to you. You're not allowing for outside inspiration to happen. It's like you're blocked emotionally. And if you release this hold you have on your emotions, like, you know, having, you know, this need for perfection, this need for things to be done, right? And just enjoy the journey of life, right? Enjoy it. Allow spirit to move you, right? And seek some kind of like spiritual organization. And I don't necessarily mean, and I don't feel spirit necessarily mean like a spiritual like a religion per se, you know, at all. I think it's more like, I feel like it's kind of like surrender to the divine. Like surrender yourself to to counsel, to spiritual counsel. Like, you know, what's the reason behind why everything gotta be undone? Why gotta be done? Why are you so afraid to be undone? Why are you so afraid just to sit with things not being perfect or things not being done? Why does everything have to be done right now? So I feel like for this waning half moon in Virgo is accepting that sometimes it's best just to leave things undone. Sometimes it's best to just like say, you know what, just walk away from stuff. Like just let it sit and just be like, you know what, I'm going to accept what this is right now. I'm going to accept myself. I'm going to accept the effort I put in. I'm going to accept that it's not perfect. I'm going to accept that it is the way it is. I'm going to accept that it's, you know, it's a work in progress. And then I'm going to allow spirit to move me. Let down this image of perfection, right? And then you'll get real, if it's not perfection, then you'll get real, it's like my mind just want to say authority. Like, you know, you'll really get stuff, you'll really get the enjoyment out of the journey. You know, you'll really understand what you're doing it all for. You'll get back in touch with what really matters to you the most, right? That's what I'm really feeling, is that you'll get back to your calling. You can't hear it. That's why it's the whole point of becoming undone, is that you get down to the meat of it all. You get down to the meat. I don't know where that came from, but you get down to like, it's like becoming undone. It strips you all the way down. It takes away all the things that you think matters, and just strips you down and keeps stripping you down until all that's left is you. All that's left is what you really want, which is, you know, a calling. So you think doing all of this stuff is getting you closer to your vocation, but in reality, it's leading you further away from it. It's just getting you trapped into a job. It's getting you trapped into one project. It's getting you trapped into being someone who you really don't want to be. It's who you're becoming on the journey. You're not appreciating the journey. You're not accepting where you are. You expect everything to be perfect. And so with this weekend, this last week, the fourth week of this month, it's gonna be a time that's gonna strip you all the way down. It's gonna bring you back to acceptance and gratitude, and back to on track to your calling. Because then we move right into, you know, what you got, like 3 weeks left of Sagittarius season. And in order for you to really, like, you know, get that serendipity, you know, the stuff of that good luck, and really to understand it, and the joy, the ups and downs of it and everything, you really gotta get to your true intentions in life and what you really want, to be able to really enjoy it, to be able to really see. All right, so this has been a long time. This has been a very, very long reading, but I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I hope you got something from it. I hope it helps you this November to get like to get closer to who you really are and what you really want for your life, you know. So if you like this November reading, subscribe to our channel, and we'll have more, we're gonna have more readings to come, and we're gonna have more readings to come, and I'm excited. I love doing these readings. They're hard on me. I'm not gonna, it takes a lot for me to get prepared for them. It takes a lot of breakdown that has to happen, but I really enjoy doing them. I hope you enjoy them too. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't like this video, thumbs down. Give me some honest feedback so I can know how I should be moving forward with these videos. I really would love it if you let me know if you like it, you don't like it, and so I can craft more videos to what you like, you know. And if you need help with manifesting and healing, then go to our website, wellnesshoney.com, and go to the bookings and request a discovery call. And let's talk about how we can help you heal yourself, develop your gifts, and manifest your desires. We're very passionate about helping people and in helping people to get what's theirs, to remember who they are and get what's theirs. It's a beautiful thing. So it has been a pleasure. I gotta go. So until next time, peace, be well, and I love you. That was so cheesy, but I do. Thank you for watching this video and being part of the Wellness Honey community. It's a pleasure and I'm grateful for you. Alright. Bye. Happy November.